มันคือการสาธิตให้เห็นว่าถ้าไม่กินผักกัดกินผักแล้วค่ะ
If you don't eat vegetables, this is a demonstration of what'll happen to you. Your head will escape your body and your insides hang off of you like a ceiling light. That's kind of cool.
I don't think so.
Hello and welcome to the Curse Commercials Halloween special, where we get the honor of revisiting our favorite Halloween commercial.
Video Game Underground has the best video games in town.
Video Game Underground has the best video games in town.
Hey guys, this is Mike from Video Game Underground. We have the best video games in town. Hey guys, coming at you live from Video Game Underground, 1847 Sylvania Avenue, between Jackman and Douglas, in Toledo, Ohio. Phone 419-472-5443. It's October. You know what that means? It's Halloween. How many of you remember the Halloween commercial for Video Game Underground? When was the first time you saw it? Was it on TV here in Toledo, or was it part of a Curse commercial website, or one of the Curse commercial reviews? Tell me where you saw it. Have a great day, guys. Happy Halloween for the whole month.
Video Game Underground.
The Curse Commercials Halloween special is sponsored by Factor. Factor is your ultimate solution for a hassle-free, delicious and nutritious meal plan. It streamlines the process of maintaining a clean and delightful diet, taking the guesswork out of your daily culinary choices. With Factor, you can easily achieve your nutritional objectives by indulging in fresh, never-frozen dishes delivered directly to your doorstep. If you're like me, you often grapple with the daily issue of deciding what to eat. You'll be delighted to discover that Factor is the answer. It's the king of convenience, quick, healthy, scrumptious, all rolled into one. These meals not only tantalize your taste buds with an array of flavors, but also ensure they are brimming with wholesome goodness. What's truly mind-blowing is the fact that these delicious dishes can be prepared in a mere 2 minutes. A culinary revolution in itself. Selecting your preferred meals is a breeze, given the variety of options available ranging from keto and vegan choices to calorie-smart selections and more. Simply make your choices and Factor will swiftly deliver them to your doorstep. This service has been a game changer in my life, liberating me from the drudgery of meal planning, grocery shopping, and the time-consuming process of cooking. The best part is that it's not just convenient, it's really good. It's delicious. So why not experience Factor for yourself? Give it a try today and prepare to be wowed. As an added incentive for my audience, you can enjoy a generous 50% discount on your first box. Just head on over to factor75.com or click the link in the description below. And be sure to use my exclusive code, ChadTronic50. Once again, that's factor75.com. And don't forget to use code ChadTronic50. And now, back to the Halloween special. This appears to be a commercial for a light bulb. This is a reason everyone buys light bulbs. It's just to keep vampires away since they're so prevalent in society. This doesn't look like it's a very bright light bulb. We've moved on to LEDs at this point. If you want to kill a vampire on the spot, that's what you really need. You need an LED bulb.
Bohlan Technology German.
At the beginning of this ad, I thought the vampire was flying around on a broom, but that wouldn't really make sense. But I guess vampires just have the ability to like levitate, although this looks a bit strange. He's like air walking. But yeah, once again, make sure you have light bulbs to keep vampires away, especially this specific brand. Not really that cursed. I give both of these ads a 3.
So, combined or thrown?
Garfield,
commercial.
¿dónde están los muebles? Garfield, ¿dónde está la comida?
Garfield, where is all the food?
Garfield, ¿dónde está Odie?
Where is Odie?
Garfield?
Garfield está hambriento. Y tú eres el postre. El sábado a las 18 por Cartoon Network.
This is not the Garfield Halloween special that I remember. This is dark. What's with this music? Not quite sure what's being said here, but it looks like Garfield has just become a complete psychopath that maybe even perhaps killed Odie. Maybe this was some kind of finale episode. Garfield just finally lost it. He had his last Monday, just went on a complete tirade. Puked out a shoe at the end, so I assume he ate John. Where was this episode? I need to catch up. I missed this. This is pretty cursed. An 8 for sure.
Critters. The battle begins in another galaxy, but it's going to be fought in the Browns' backyard.
Oh, God, it was great! It was great! I think you should all go and see it. It was great.
Bounty hunters, total psychoticness. The critters like to party too.
I screamed through the whole thing.
Critters. See them in a theater. You don't want to run into them at home. Rated PG-13.
Critters now playing at a theater near you.
I like the Critters films. I've actually seen these. I don't remember too much about them, but I didn't remember having this experience that these people have seemed to have. They're like very overly enthusiastic for this movie. Maybe a little too enthusiastic. Like they were obviously compensated to make this commercial, probably. Critters is all right. It's no Gremlins, though. Not really that cursed. The movie's more cursed than this commercial. 2.
ปกติไม่ค่อยกินผักค่ะ
Oh no, she grew.
มันคือการสาธิตให้เห็นว่าถ้าไม่กินผัก ดูสิคะ อาจมีเศษอาหารหมักหมม น่ากลัวเนอะแต่ถ้าเรากินผักให้ถึงเครื่องทุกมื้อ จะไปช่วยกวาดสิ่งหมักหมม ลดเสี่ยง ลดโรคการกินผักแล้วค่ะ
ผลักดันให้ผักนำ
This is the definition of cursed happening right here. If you don't eat vegetables, this is a demonstration of what'll happen to you. Your head will escape your body and your insides hang off of you like a ceiling light. That's kind of cool. Maybe I don't want to eat my vegetables. Maybe I want this to happen. But yeah, very cursed advertisement. 9.
Go ahead, ring the bell.
Greetings,
Earthling. Well, aren't you kids cute?
We're the mission from Mars. We've come to save our Halloween.
We want the best candy on Earth.
Can you help us, man?
Well, you're a little early for Halloween, but...
I got you.
M&M's.
I got you guys.
Wow, our favorites.
By the way, I love your costumes.
All right, guys, only 5 million houses to go.
Will the mission from Mars save their Halloween? You can find out October 30th.
This is a cute and innocent advertisement. Characters look like they were kind of made by AI or something. Just very strange looking. I like that at the end, the ET alien just doesn't have a walking animation. Just kind of hovers around on the sidewalk. 4.
They said we don't need Halloween donuts.
They said, what? Are you gonna be better than candy?
Your little cream thing is gonna look weird in a close-up.
They said, you're too small for your own dramatic video.
But we rose.
We earned our treat cred.
And now, all they say is, I'll take a dozen.
That's probably one of the most dramatic Krispy Kreme commercials I've ever seen. For Halloween donuts. Who said we didn't need Halloween donuts? I don't believe this ad. This ad is lying. Who said we didn't need this? I will take a dozen. One.
It seemed like any other Halloween party until they decided to accept the invitation. They learned the hard way. Social media is scary. Get ready for bone-chilling terror.
I'm kind of concerned about Todd. He's acting strange.
Todd, we need to talk, bro.
It'll be a night you'll never forget.
The only common clues between all these disappearances are these, these number signs.
Doesn't make any sense.
These kids have all been tweaking, twerking, twittering with many street names.
Careful with your sexy selfies. It'll be a bloodbath.
Do you know where Union nightclub is?
Don't go to that party now, you.
Oh.
Guys, don't forget me. Have me on Friendster. We can be Friendsters. Snapchat me your boobs.
I've just discovered the most amazing pickling recipe.
Alexa, likes 50%.
I just can't wait to finish.
Try to make it home in one piece.
I'll be your friend.
And don't forget to bring a gadget. You've been warned. Attend /tag. Only if you dare. Nabs Ambassadors presents /tag, the scary social at Union Nightclub on Thursday, October 31st. Tickets on sale now.
What the frick is this? This girl checks Twitter. Next thing you know, she's just being attacked. Of course, when I check Twitter, I expect to be attacked by people on the app, not real life. What is this advertising? Is this just an ad to scare people away from using Twitter? I think Twitter does just a fine job on its own to scare people away from itself. This ad's kind of terrible. Is it entertaining? Yes. What is it advertising? I'm still not quite sure. Thinking it's something to scare people from using social media? I do not understand. Was this a good ad? Yes. Was it effective? Absolutely not. Pretty cursed, I guess. 7.
You think that's stupid? Look at all the fine print on the big box store's extended warranty.
So get into PC laptops where all desktop computers come with a lifetime parts and labor warranty.
This was very short and mildly confusing. How many of you watching were convinced by this? Did you want to buy these people's laptops, services? I'm not even quite sure what they're selling. I'm assuming they're laptops. PClaptops.com. We love you with love spelled L-U-V for some reason. That monster at the beginning was very stupid, though.
You think that's stupid?
I did think that was stupid.
You think that's stupid?
This ad was also stupid, too. People were in, like, Scooby-Doo costumes, but they didn't really, like, do anything with that. They just kind of stood there. And then we have a guy yelling at us in the void of the Matrix while wearing a Bruce Lee shirt. This builds my trust. I don't know about you guys. 4. No. 6.
I'm Count Scary, and I bought 3D glasses for 39 cents from a participating Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers restaurant. Hand me my glasses. Not these glasses, Igor. Hand me the scary ones. And oh, they go so good with my tan.
Count Scary's 3D Party, Tuesday, July 6th at 8 p.m. only on Channel...
What the heck? Count Scary's 3D Party. What? So apparently in Detroit in July? Not October, but July. It's some kind of TV special that must have featured something in 3D. And to get the glasses, you had to go to Wendy's? This is so absolutely random. I actually kind of want to know more. I'm intrigued. Guess I'll have to go to Wendy's and get some 3D glasses. I did end up being convinced to do this. There's like such a lack of context, so 8, I guess.
For great Halloween fun, pick up some spooky decorations at Walgreens. Just $7.99 each. Scary sound-activated Halloween figures, battery-operated pirate skull, witches, skeletons, and more. Stock up on Halloween candy, too. Walgreens has a wide selection of treats and goodies of all kinds. And it's time to order your holiday photo greeting cards. Put your favorite photo on any of 6 beautiful designs. All orders include a free marker pen. Treat yourself to savings this week at Walgreens.
Pretty cool vintage advertisement showing a bunch of holiday stuff at Walgreens. I really like this generic Halloween toy laughter sound. This was on this like single sound effect was like inside everything. It was even the same sound that the famous Evil Stick made. If you know anything about that, that's something I need to cover sometime on this channel. That's very cursed. If you know anything about that, yeah, the Evil Stick made that same sound effect. Yeah, not that cursed of an ad though. 3, no. 1. That's a 1.
What is going? He's fucking.
I've got new Cocoa Pebbles. Looks more chocolatey. Tastes better than ever. But we can't let Video Wilma see the chocolatey color of it.
Hi, fellas.
Close your eyes. Don't look or you'll turn into a chocolatey monster. Oh, boy.
Looks more chocolatey.
You have some girls' new post-Cocoa Pebbles cereals part of a balanced breakfast.
Tastes better than ever. What a delicious feeling. New Cocoa Pebbles.
Sure, tastes better than ever. Looks more chocolatey. Looks chocolatey.
I actually like their faces. This is actually kind of funny. I love Cocoa Pebbles growing up, especially the magical attributes it had that made these things that are being advertised happen. This commercial is more cursed than ever. It looks chocolatey. Okay. 4.
I need to grab that as a sound clip this week. Fuck.
Oh my god, actual jump scare.
Where?
Actual jump scare. Everybody warn everybody else in the comments. Timestamp this.
¿Tú quién eres?
El Coco.
¿Y qué es aquí?
¿No te dijo tu mamá? A los niños que no comen se los lleva el Coco.
Sí, pero el hígado no me gusta.
I don't know what he's saying. Kill his mom? Oh no! His mom can't cook
I think that was just
sold out
Fred
his mom.
Flintstone, right? He's just became the chocolatey monster. I can't believe he made another appearance in this very next advertisement. The commercial had an actual jump scare. 6, I guess.
Bayaran mo na kami! Magbayad ka na!
Switch to the new My Dream JCB, the easy-to-pay, low-interest credit card.
Still.
Stop using the credit cards you have now. The interest rate's gonna turn into things that try and kill you. I mean, high interest is basically set up to kill you, so I get where this is coming from. Other credit cards give you bad dreams, but not the My Dream. We only charge you some interest, not too much interest. Our credit card is less haunted, is what they're, I guess, trying to say. It's less haunted. 6.
There's no way this is a sunglasses ad. That would be a swan and nose. Sunscreen commercial.
Somebody forget his Ray-Ban sunglasses.
All right.
Don't show this commercial to the light bulb vampire guy. We must not give vampires Ray-Bans to defend themselves. This doesn't really make any sense. So for a vampire to not like sunlight, it's really only their eyes that need to be protected. I thought it was like their skin. This doesn't make any sense. 6.
I have found them one day.
It's time for Daddy to make some funny.
Yeah, we got all of this at Walmart. The decorations, the tablecloths, all of the food. And we even saved enough money for for the clown outfit.
Unbeatable prices backed by our price match guarantee. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Was a Walmart ad? What the heck? Replace the unicorn figurine with a Lego, and I think that would have made this 10 times more relatable.
No, the unicorn makes it.
That is stupid. I mean, it does say stupidvideos.com in the watermark. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. It's pretty cursed. 9.
Video game.
Okay, stop. The song is very easily getting stuck in my head. Please stop.
Video game underground.
That's enough.
Has the best video games in town.
Okay, I said that's enough.
Underground.
I said that's enough.
Games in town.
Stop.
Game underground. Has the best video games in town.
Video. You know what? Hold on. We'll do that here in a minute. Let's watch this Bruce do video.
All right. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm doing a little sub-series on 90s TV shows. And the last time I touched on a Nickelodeon classic, Double Dare. Well, this time around, I want to talk about another Nickelodeon game show, and that would be the one called Figure It Out.
I remember this.
Now, I was a big fan of Figure It Out when I was a kid, partly because it was a pretty simple concept. You had a child contestant that had some sort of secret hidden talent, and then you had a panel of Nickelodeon pseudo-celebrities that had to guess what it was. You know, they had to figure it out. Oh, I see what they did. Okay. Now, this panel had 3 rounds to ask yes or no questions to the kid, and each round that they didn't figure it out, the kid won a prize. The first round would be like a pair of rollerblades. Second round was either a mountain bike or a Nintendo 64. And the third round was always a vacation of some sort. Pretty standard format. Except I gotta say that the vacations that they picked on Figure It Out fucking sucked ass. It was always like some arbitrary place like Corpus Christi, Texas, or fucking Mount Pelier, Vermont. Ah, fuck yeah, Vermont. I love maple syrup and crusty ass old people. Hell yeah. Now, at the beginning of the show, they would disclose to those watching at home what this kid's little hidden talent was. And I have to say, it was a pretty wide spectrum when it came to these so-called talents on Figure It Out. I mean, sure, sometimes you'd have like a really smart kid that would be like, I invented bifocals in the 2nd grade. And you'd be sitting there at home like, God damn, bifocals? I thought that was Ben Franklin's ass. That's pretty damn impressive. But then most of the time, they'd be scraping the bottom of the barrel for talent, and they just throw some dirty little kid up there like, sometimes I have my dog drink milk from the inside of my mouth. Oh, what the fuck? How the hell is that a talent? What is this, fucking Fear Factor? That kid's gonna get gingivitis, for Christ's sake. And yeah, before you ask, I'm not exaggerating. That was indeed a real talent on a real episode of Figure It Out. I saw this shit when I was 9 years old, for Christ's sake. A little girl letting a dog lick milk out of her fucking mouth. And that memory's been with me ever since. Why? So let's go ahead and do a little hypothetical episode of Figure It Out, if you will, just to let you guys know how this show played out. First of all, the show starts with the host, Summer Sanders. And side note, while I was recording this, I kept saying Suzanne Summers instead of Summer Sanders. You know, the chick from fucking Three's Company. For whatever reason, my brain can't differentiate between the two people.
They're the same
fucking person to me. So if I confuse the two during this cartoon, well, you're just gonna have to deal with it, because I'm sick of recording this goddamn thing. So anyways, Suzanne Summers introduces the first contestant, Little Ricky. And Little Ricky would either have a mullet or a bowl cut hairdo. It wasn't required to be on the show, but, well, it sure seemed like it was recommended. And let's just say that Little Ricky's talent is that he's the, fucking hula hoop champion of Wisconsin. That sounds about right. That's smack dab in the spectrum there. I don't know what the fuck a hula hoop champion is, but it might be impressive. So first things first, they break down his talent into a few words, and they plaster him on this giant head that they call Billy or Buddy or fucking Bucky the Answer Head, whatever the hell it was. But they hide all the main words from the panel, of course. And now it's the panel's job to ask yes or no questions in order to figure out what the fuck Little Ricky's all about. And on this panel, you'd have, like, Mike O'Malley from Nickelodeon Guts. Josh Server's obnoxious ass from All That, my boy Danny Tamborelli from Pete and Pete, and my personal favorite, Lori Beth motherfucking Denberg. Now, Lori Beth Denberg was my favorite panelist because she was the only one that took the game seriously. The other people would just joke around and ask the kids stupid questions like, does your talent have anything to do with porcupines? No, what the fuck? But not Lori Beth Denberg's ass. No, her ass was trying to figure it out. Fuck these kids and their hopes and dreams. She's gonna ask some tough-ass questions and get some answers. Tell me, child, are either of your parents ashamed of your talent? I don't know. Judges, what do you think? They're saying yes, absolutely. Specifically the dad. Interesting. Is it perhaps because you're a champion of a not-so-masculine activity? Holy shit, she's good. You know, Lori Beth, it's still the first round. Why don't you take it easy on the kid? Oh, I'm sorry, Suzanne Summers. I thought we were supposed to fucking figure it out. Are we not supposed to figure it out? What the fuck is this? Now, it's important to note that every round, the panelists would be given a clue of some sort. I mean, blank champion of blank sure as hell ain't much to go off. Are you the world champion of porcupines? No, Josh, he's not. What the fuck is up with you and porcupines? Now, these clues that they would get would vary from episode to episode. Sometimes they'd have the panelists feel an object while they're blindfolded, or sometimes people would just yell shit at them from the audience. Hey, you stupid asses! It's a state that nobody gives a shit about! Wisconsin? Hell, sometimes they just bring out the charade brigade, which was when two assholes would march out on stage and try to mime a clue for them. Dancing? Dancing like an asshole. Dirty dancing. Fucking dirty dancing champion of Wisconsin. Oh, god damn it. And then the charade brigade would just trot off stage, and usually the panelists were even more confused than they were to begin with. Now, the best part about Figure It Out was, of course, the slime. I mean, it's a Nickelodeon show, for Christ's sake. Somebody's got to get covered in green shit. It's what puts the asses in the seats, if you will. And the slime would happen in the second round with something they would call the secret slime action. Now, the panelists obviously had no idea what the secret slime action was. They would just flash it on screen for everybody watching at home. The secret slime action is trying to hide a fart by coughing into your hand. So now you'd be sitting at home all amped up, just waiting for one of the panelists to fuck up and get slimed 6 ways to Sunday. Does your talent involve... Oh, looks like you did the secret slime action, Danny Tamborelli. How dare you try to fart in front of a live studio audience, you fucking piece of shit. And I swear, it seemed like it was always Danny Tamborelli's ass getting slimed. Like they would target his ass specifically with the secret slime action. The secret slime action is being a red-headed freckled fuck. Oh, snap, Danny. Looks like we got you again. What the hell did I do this time? Well, it's not what you did, Danny. It's what you are. It's not our fault you're a red-headed freckled fuck. Now, after 3 complete rounds of all this happy horse shit, it would come down to the panel's final guess. Little Ricky would be getting all excited. That vacation to Butte, Montana's practically in pissing distance now, but not so fast because you'd still have Lori Beth Denberg's ass over there smoking a cigarette. You know damn well she had this kid still in her crosshairs. Well, little Ricky, it's been a fine episode, but I think you and I both know that you're the fucking hula hoop champion of Wisconsin. Oh, snap, Lori Beth Denberg coming in clutch. Well, I guess it sucks to suck, little Ricky. No vacation for your ass. Jay, tell him all the prizes that he won. Well, he's won the pair of rollerblades and the Nintendo 60 mountain bike, but he just fell short of the trip to Butte, Montana.
I've been through Butte.
And then, lo and behold, it's the end of the show. And, of course, little Ricky gets to demonstrate his mediocre, semi-impressive talent for everybody. Yeah, but they'd always be running out of time. Be like the last 6 seconds to figure out 30-minute time block. So they'd have to rush his ass through to get to the credits. All right, little Ricky, let's see what you got. Wow, that's amazing. Anyways, that's all the time we have today. I'm Summer Sanders, Suzanne Summers, whatever the fuck my name is. We'll see you again on another episode of Figure It Out. Roll the credits. Hurry. Roll them. Roll the credits. The other people would just joke around and ask the kids stupid questions like, does your talent have anything to do with porcupines? No. Pass through to get to the credits. All right, little Ricky, let's see what you got. Wow, that's amazing. Anyways, that's all the time we have today. I'm Summer Sanders, Suzanne Summers, whatever the fuck my name is. We'll see you again on another episode of Figure It Out. Roll the credits. Hurry. Roll them. Roll the credits. And that was pretty much an episode of Figure It Out. Now, was Figure It Out better than an episode of Double Dare? No. Well, fucking hell no. Double Dare had a goddamn obstacle course at the end of the show. You can't compete with an obstacle course. Somebody's mom slipping a disc because she fucking fell in some gack. No way. Regardless, Figure It Out was one of my favorite shows. And I think for my next episode of this little sub-series, I'm either gonna do Supermarket Sweep or maybe another Nickelodeon classic, Legends of the Hidden Temple. Leave your votes down in the comments, or don't, because I'm not your dad and I can't tell you what to do. And let's be honest, I'm not gonna tally them up anyway, so what's the fucking point? The end.
You can do what you want. subscribe to his channel. We'll be back in like 10 minutes. You guys don't die. All right, let us continue where we were. Go back here and pull up our volumes a bit. And I think we're gonna go for the scam fish video.
I'm like, oh really? Who's the CEO of the company? And she told me, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. I was a lucky contestant that had won $1 million. I was trying to do this, not even for me, but for my son. He wanted me to be his mistress or his second wife. He's got a great body. I have to give him that. For the first time in his life, he knows what true love is and what it means to actually be in love. She previously got pregnant for the third child, so
Is Mark
she
Zuckerberg
could
married?
hold on to him.
What's up, Seekers? Welcome back to another episode of Scamfish, sponsored by SocialCatfish.com.
I provided personal information of mine and my son's. My mission is to get my son back. He won't talk to me. He won't see me. My son's eyes. I chose Mark over my son.
On today's episode, we speak to a woman named Carrie who thinks she's in an online relationship with one of the richest men in the world, Mark Zuckerberg. This online affair has ruined her relationship with her son. Join us as we help her find answers and reveal to her the truth about who she's really.
That is some fucking scammer dude who's
Real
fucking
quick, guys,
ruined
don't
everything.
forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your comment and like could help stop someone from being scammed. Let's get into it.
All right, how many times are we gonna rub our head?
I enjoy shooting pool, going bowling. I love to drive and be on an open road.
I do love to drive, though.
And I'm looking forward to getting my CDL license now.
Good.
My husband was very complex, very entertaining. We met when I was 15 and he was 23. He loved to cook. He was also a professional clown, loved music. He unfortunately passed away November 28th of 21. I've been trying to find myself and who I am, because I've never really known who I, Carrie, have been, it's supposed to be.
Carrie's husband's passing left her in a tight spot financially. She was lonely and left to raise her son alone. One night while she was scrolling through Facebook is when it all began.
I was not online dating. I was not looking for a relationship. I had gotten a message. Her name was Virginia. She claims that I was a lucky contestant that had won $1 million.
No, I don't know how that works, but okay.
This ain't real. Facebook doesn't do online giveaways. She eventually told me that the CEO of the company wanted to talk to me. I'm like, oh, really?
Really?
Who's the CEO of the company? And she told me, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. My knowledge of what Mark's net worth is somewhere around $700 billion. He's one of the richest men in the world. He also is not just the CEO of Facebook. He also has a joint business with Priscilla. He is very compassionate and sincere. He's got a great body. I have to give him that.
Of course,
He's got a great body.
There to that, huh?
Him and I would talk for a little while. Then he asked me how I would use this money, and I told him I would get a trust fund for my son. I would buy a small little house, maybe go on a vacation, and donate some to a cancer foundation. I was trying to do this,
she was trying to do
not
good.
even for me, but for my son, to have him have some kind of financial security. I didn't tell anybody about this. I didn't want to be ridiculed and shut down for talking with somebody, let alone potentially mocked.
Carrie had originally began to send money to Mark so she could claim her $1 million and a 2023 Camaro he said she had won through a Facebook raffle.
Out of here.
The money and the car were in this kind of container, but in order to get it released, there had to be payment to release that.
Of course you do.
What's $50 compared to $1 million? You know, even though I was struggling and I didn't have much at that time, I started trusting him. I provided personal information of mine and my son's, and even the address to where I was living at.
Carrie sent the front and back of both her ID and her son's ID. Mark claimed he needed this so he could process the money to her account. She would also share her bank account information along with $500 for the winner's fee. She is still waiting to hear back from Virginia on when she will receive all of her prizes. While she waited, Mark would open up about his relationship with his wife.
Mark and Priscilla met at Harvard. They got married one day before Facebook was ready to launch. He felt that she purposely got pregnant for the third child so she could hold on to him. They don't see each other that much because he works a lot and so doesn't she, taking care of the kids. He would say that he had meetings, he was spending time with the baby. We would ask each other how our days were, what had happened in the day. As time went on, things got a little more complex. I think it was around the third week of him and I talking is when he told me that he was in love with me. He wanted me to be his mistress or his second wife. He thought he was in love with Priscilla, but he had said to me that he wants to be with me. For the first time in his life, he knows what true love is and what it means to actually be in love. He's talked about eventually opening a Facebook company here on the East Coast, which myself and him, we will work side by side together at the company. He has found a couple houses that he would love to purchase here in Massachusetts for him and I. And he feels that my son is not just mine, but ours, you know, and he's looking forward to being a stepdad to him, teaching him and giving him a job at Facebook.
Okay.
This Mark Zuckerberg profile would eventually tell Wanda that he was ready to completely end his marriage.
Done.
This is when things started to spiral out of control.
He told Priscilla that he was not happy anymore. He wasn't in love with her anymore. She put a freeze on his accounts until this divorce is finalized. And I even looked into, you know, the laws in California, and yeah, the law states that a spouse can freeze the other person's account until a divorce is finalized. Another time that he asked me for money was so he could eat, or he needed to do an upgrade of software on his device, because since he doesn't have access to the money, as Priscilla had closed the accounts, the first person that he had as a lawyer took the money and hasn't been seen
Wild.
since.
This is fucking wild.
So he had to get another lawyer.
Carrie has essentially been funding Mark Zuckerberg's life. She sent money for his divorce lawyer, food, Wi-Fi. The list goes on and on, totaling to $24,000. Yet she still holds on to this relationship being true.
The real reason why I think that I am talking to the real Mark, I have seen private credentials of him, such as Meta keycard, his driver's license. He is planning on coming here on October 2nd or 3rd.
Mark never showed up on the 3rd. This is when Carrie knew something wasn't right. She waited all day for him, but he told her that his divorce was still ongoing and he needed more money for his lawyer. All she wants is for all of this to be real so she can claim the prize Mark originally promised her and prove to her son that all of it is true.
The most valuable thing to me is losing my son. And that is my mission, is to get my son back. He won't talk to me.
We got a right not to.
Won't see me. He won't respond
I think you're talking to Mark
my text
Zuckerberg.
messages. But I've always made sure he's got food on the table, clothes on his back, some kind of roof over his head. But in my son's eyes, I chose Mark over my son, which is not what I was doing. Not at all.
Kinda.
Dak, if you're watching this, I hope you have gotten the text messages that I have sent you. No matter how
I'm gonna
much
feel bad.
I may have lost, the biggest thing I've lost was you. Please forgive Mom, and let me back in.
We waited weeks and never received any information from Carrie. After several emails, text messages, and even phone calls, we finally got a hold of her. I pulled her in for a call so I can pull as much information as I could. Our goal was to come with facts and to show the guest on our show why this person is not real. This is the only way that we were going to get her to come to terms.
Today we were supposed to go over your in-depth, but I don't have an in-depth to go over with you. Going through these chats, we can at least pull some of the information, and then from here we can try to give you some answers. But what exactly is the reason for you not being able to send anything to us over the past 3 weeks?
I haven't gotten any emails out from you guys outside of the release.
Does he have access to those emails?
I would assume so.
So call them and reset the password. Unable to do it. Honey, where did you go? My love, honey. Why is Mark Zuckerberg asking you what your credit limit is on your TJ Maxx credit card?
He was actually joking around about that because I told him that there is no cash advance, and so he was actually joking with me on that.
Carrie, he's hitting you with one-liners. He's hitting you with 3 words every single time. I don't see any depth to this conversation at all. It's literally, I'm reading, writing, done, no ma'am. Look at how much time and effort you're putting into each message, and look at the amount of words and effort he's putting into his messages. Do you see that?
There's more to it than that, Joe.
Okay. All right. Well, let's keep scrolling through this.
Believe it.
Our team got straight to work. We took the next few hours and started to research everything.
If you've made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We appreciate you so much.
We then set up another call with Carrie to go over what we had found.
I just want to tell you something. Like, we're here to help you out. We have, I think Drew told you this earlier, but we have no incentive. You're not paying us to do this. We have no incentive to tell you the person you're talking to is real or they're not real. We just want to bring the truth to you, right? And so as you've given us this stuff, you've done it last minute, but I want to tell you, we found everything and we have a lot of information to share with you. So one thing that's extremely concerning is that this guy has access to all your accounts, right?
Yeah.
So he's logging into your bank account, he's logging into your Facebook, your email,
he's
everything.
deleting every message.
Yeah. Why would you give him access to all this stuff? Just out of curiosity.
Maybe I'm too trusting. Maybe I'm naive. But when I love somebody, I trust.
And As of right now, you truly believe you're talking to the real Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah, I do. Because there's certain things that we have shared. He has shared videos with me in the moment video that were not out on social media until a couple days or a month or so later.
That brings us to the first bit of information that we looked up. So the photo that you received of him with the bruises on his face, can you tell me what he said when he sent that to you?
He first said, "Don't worry about it, he's okay, LOL." And then he told me that it was makeup, so I wouldn't worry.
So Mark Zuckerberg, he's a fitness guy. He works out with a lot of famous UFC fighters like Adesanya, you name it, like the biggest guys in the UFC world. One of the things that concerned you was that you received that photo of him a day before it was released on his Instagram. Well, we went back and we were able to do a reverse image search and find that that was actually posted on his Twitter a day prior to when he sent it to you. Using an Instagram to reference why you're talking to Mark Zuckerberg isn't probably a clear reason of why this person could be true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. There was also, a picture of the youngest kid in Priscilla in the hospital before that went public.
Why would he only send you pictures that are posted on social media and they're posted a day or 2 days before he sends them to you? You see where we're getting at here?
Is it somebody in town?
Yeah.
Like many other romance scam victims, it was tough for Carrie to accept the fact that she was wrong. She wanted to prove to her son that this truly was Mark. Her pride was in the way, but we had even more to show her.
Why exactly does Mark Zuckerberg, a guy that's literally one of the richest guys in the world, why exactly does he need money from you specifically?
He told me he decided to leave Priscilla. When he told Priscilla that he had found somebody else and that he was in love with somebody else, he didn't take it well. California law states, and I've looked this up, a spouse can freeze assets during a separation and a divorce.
So they can freeze assets to keep you from selling your house and transferring funds from one bank account to another, but they can't keep you from making money and surviving. That would just never happen in a court of law. I'm just letting you know.
I mean, I know a little bit of Massachusetts law. I'm not familiar with our law.
He told you that you were the only one that could help him?
He told me I was the only one that could help him. He told me that he needed first the money for the first lawyer he had.
We followed the Bitcoin wallets, right? And there was money going into those crypto wallets, but there was also, just the other day, there was $20,000, right? There were $20,000 in other transactions going through those wallets. So this person's telling you they need $400, which is going to change their life somehow, one of the richest people in the world. And then the money that we found going into those crypto wallets that you are sending, somebody else, collectively, other people sent $20,000 to the same person that owns these crypto wallets. So he was getting, $400 from you, and then he was getting another $20,000 from somebody else days ago, like literally days ago, like a week ago. But one of the big things we found, there was a handwritten letter to you from this person that you were talking to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so there are a few weird things from that. So we were able to find Mark Zuckerberg's real handwriting and match them side by side. They're not even close, Carrie. Like, not even close. The R's, the A's, the N's, the spacing between, there's so many differences between these two, the handwriting. It's not the same person, 100%.
Okay.
And so as we're going through this information, what's going on through your mind? Are things starting to click for you? Do you still have doubt?
I don't even know. I don't even know. I lost my son. I lost my friend of almost 30 years. I feel betrayed. I feel used. I feel stupid, pathetic.
You're not stupid. You know you had a good incentive on why you were talking to Mark, right? It was to help your son. But you just need to be educated on why it's so dangerous to send your personal information and your son's personal information to somebody that you've never met.
It was all starting to hit Carrie. This had to be stopped, and we knew our last two pieces of information was the nail in the coffin.
Carrie, we know where this person is. As you gave us access to your Facebook account, we were able to go in and look at logins. And we had asked you 2 questions. We said, hey, what phone are you using? Because we saw another phone in there. So there was an iPhone XS in there, which we looked it up, and it's a little bit older phone. And so what we were able to do is find an IP address in Facebook. Drew dropped it in, and we were able to find out the IP address was in Nigeria, Carrie. The person you're talking to is in Nigeria right now. Just to be certain, we looked up Mark Zuckerberg's phone. You got one of the richest people in the world. They're not going to be using a 3 or 4-year-old iPhone. And B, we have pictures of him even using an Android phone.
We've pulled a bunch of photos of Mark. So the first one was, from about a month ago. This photo, this is when he announced his newborn maybe 4 or 5 months ago. And then the last one is 2 weeks ago. It's him and his wife. They're talking about their new AI system and how it's gonna help healthcare. They're together. They're not divorced. They're not getting a divorce. There's nothing out there on the internet that talks about them, having a problem in their marriage. This guy is happily married.
If you guys were to reach out to Mark, if this was not him, ideally, I would like to meet him. And I'm not asking him to lie. But if my son could see Mark and I together.
That's not gonna happen, Carrie. Carrie, come on. Like, that's not gonna, like, I just...
Not even in a romantic...
It doesn't matter.
Like, it's not gonna
this person's
happen,
ripped
lady.
you apart. Like, the wrong thing to do is, like, go to your son and act like there's this real story going on. The right thing to do is to come clean and be like, look, you're my son. I love you. I fucked up. And I want to make things right in our relationship. That's the right thing to do, Carrie. It doesn't... Mark Zuckerberg doesn't matter. He's not even part of this. He's not... The only part of this that he is somebody uses his images to scam you. Here's what I think we should do, and you tell me if this is the right or wrong way. I think you should film a video, and you should tell your son how you feel. We will reach out to your son and say, hey, look, we've investigated this. We're helping Carrie through this mess, and the only thing that she cares about in life is making amends with you, and here's a message. And at very minimum, if you could respond. You can respond to us or you can respond to her, and you don't have to rekindle things with her, but if you could at least respond and see if we can get a response out of it.
I'm going to try.
If you want this relationship back with your son, you have to let this go. It's not real. It's 100% not real. And I want to help you repair your credit. I want to help you move on. I want to help you try to patch up your relationship with your son. But it starts with you. It starts with you. It's your decision. You have to, in your heart, believe that this is fake. It's not real. You can go off and you can go back and you can live this fantasy with this fake Mark, or you can quit it all today. You can block him and you can repair your life. The decision is yours.
I don't even know where to begin.
The two haven't spoken since she came in contact with the fake Mark Zuckerberg.
We're gonna try to get this video over to your son. What would you like to tell him?
Hey, kiddo. I don't say this easily. I never have. But I was wrong. I was wrong. You and your aunt and Kim, you were all right. The person I thought was Mark, the real Mark, is not. And I'm having a hard time broken down everything that I have done, lost, but most importantly, losing you. I need you, Zach. I need to make this right. I need to make amends with you. You of all people are the only one I've got. My biggest regret, my mistake, was not listening to you. I was wrong. Please let me back in. Please let me try and make this right with you. And I'm willing to try. And I'm not gonna talk to him no more. On Grandpa and on Dad. I'm done. You, like I said, you and your aunt, you're all right.
I had to put the music
I love
to
you
it,
so
didn't we?
much, baby boy.
Good. That was sad. Let's go watch something a little happy.
Hey everyone, Nigel and Luke here, and welcome to another edition of Crimes of the Week International. Authorities in the Australian state of Queensland say that a group of teenagers have been arrested and are facing charges in connection with multiple vehicle thefts following a recent incident in which a man took the law into his own hands and performed a dramatic citizen's arrest on one of the suspects. According to reports, the whole thing began sometime on September 30th when the man spotted a badly damaged Range Rover driving past his house with several young people inside in the Gold Coast suburb in Upper Coomera. Sensing that there was something suspicious going on, but believing they would get away before police could arrive, the man hopped into his own vehicle and started following them with the intention of getting them to pull over. It turned out that the Range Rover was stolen. The situation quickly turned into a chase, with the Range Rover speeding off down the residential street. At some point, one of those inside, identified only as a 14-year-old girl, hopped out as the vehicle continued moving. In footage of the incident recorded by the man, he can be seen following the Range Rover, which begins driving on the wrong side of the road. Deciding that the pursuit had become too dangerous, the man stopped and doubled back to his neighborhood, where he was able to find the teen who had bailed out of the vehicle before. He restrained her with zip ties, then waited for police to arrive and take her into custody. According to reports, the 14-year-old has now been charged with unlawful use of a motor vehicle. Her alleged accomplices identified her husband was cheating on her that week and had stolen at least one other luxury vehicle during that time. Authorities in the Chilean capital of Santiago say that a local bus driver is in hot water this week after he allegedly went on a dangerous and destructive drug-fueled rampage in one of the city's transit buses while he was supposed to be on the clock completing his normal route. According to reports, the whole thing began one night last week when the unidentified 58-year-old suspect showed up to his job as a driver with Santiago's red metropolitan transit system. After arriving at his usual station in the city's La Cisterna neighborhood, he boarded his bus at around 1 a.m. However, things quickly went sideways when he got behind the wheel. Instead of starting his normal route south towards the city of San Bernardo, upon leaving the station, the 58-year-old headed northeast, taking him through some of the busiest sections of the capital. It was here that he quickly caught the attention of other drivers, who watched in terror as he zigzagged all over the road at reckless speeds, slamming into other vehicles, utility poles, and whatever else was in his way. Seemingly undeterred by the numerous crashes, the bus driver reportedly continued on for more than 13 miles until he arrived in the suburb of Las Condes. It was here that he downed one final utility pole as well as a tree before coming to a stop and being surrounded by police. After being placed under arrest, the 58-year-old was tested for alcohol and drugs and apparently came back positive for marijuana and cocaine. It appears that at least one of the drivers of the vehicles he hit was hurt, though reports do not mention the severity of their injuries. It's also said that the incident caused power outages in large parts of the eastern section of Santiago. Police say that they aren't sure if the 58-year-old was deliberately trying to wreak havoc or whether the drugs interfered with his driving. One local news outlet theorized that it might be like the scene in The Wolf of Wall Street, where Leonardo DiCaprio's character thinks he's driven home amazingly on Quaaludes, only to discover later that he smashed the hell out of his car and left a trail of destruction all the way home. At the time of this recording, it appears authorities have yet to announce formal charges against the driver. Authorities in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh say that they are investigating a truly horrifying double murder case this week after a young woman was accused of savagely killing her two young sisters after they caught her in a, quote, compromising position. According to reports, the incident began on the afternoon of October 8th when farmer Jaivir Singh, his wife Sushila, and their two sons returned to their home in Etawah district after going out to get some animal feed at a local market. As they approached the house, they could immediately tell something was wrong. The doors were wide open, but their three daughters, who had stayed behind, didn't appear to be there. That was, until they took a closer look. To their horror, the two youngest girls, 7-year-old Serbi and 5-year-old Roshni, had been brutally murdered. Disturbingly, their bodies were found in one room, while their heads were found in another. Around this same time, the eldest daughter, 18-year-old Anjali, returned to the house. She claimed that she had no idea what had happened and that she had been out working in the fields of the farm. However, when police were called to the scene, evidence quickly pointed them in Anjali's direction. Clothes of hers with bloodstains on them were found hidden in the house, and a shovel, believed to be the murder weapon, was also recovered. Anjali's father told detectives that he had used the shovel that day for farm work and it was covered in dirt when he last saw it. However, it now looked as though the shovel had been meticulously cleaned. Under questioning, Anjali reportedly offered conflicting stories to investigators, which quickly fell apart. According to police, she then admitted to her involvement in the heinous crime and was arrested. It's now alleged that when the family members left the house that day, Anjali used it as an opportunity to bring her boyfriend over. When her younger sisters caught the two of them getting intimate, Anjali allegedly panicked, fearing they would tell their parents, and committed the murders. She then tried to cover up the crime before the rest of the family came home. At the time of this recording, Anjali remains in custody and has been charged with murder and concealing evidence or giving false information. Police say that they are currently questioning 3 men in connection with the case, though have not provided any additional information about how or why they believe they were involved in the crime. Before we get into this next segment, I feel compelled to say that I've spent way too much time prior to recording this going down a massive rabbit hole trying to figure out how to correctly pronounce the name of the Spanish island of Ibiza. After combing through a bunch of sources, I have concluded that no one actually agrees on this, so I'm going with the Catalan pronunciation. Just wanted to get that out of the way before anyone launches themselves headfirst into the comments section to tell me I'm wrong, and it's actually Ibiza or Ibiza, or any other combination of those sounds and symbols. So yeah, we're done, we're not arguing about it, and that's just the way it's going to be. If that bothers you for any reason, I'll leave you with the immortal words of one Mr. Willy Wonka.
You lose! Good day, sir!
Okay, that last part might have been a bit too over the top. But anyway, that's my rant for the day. Let's get into the actual segment. Representatives from the Spanish Civil Guard say that they are searching for 2 unidentified suspects this week, following a brazen attack on police that was allegedly part of a botched escape attempt to free a UK prisoner. According to reports, the dramatic situation occurred at around 11 a.m. on October 9th, when police officers were escorting the UK inmate back to a prison van following a dental surgery visit in Ibiza town. Out of nowhere, officers were ambushed by 2 masked men who allegedly pulled handguns on them before demanding the release of the inmate. Things reportedly escalated when one of the suspects pistol-whipped one of the officers, leading to a chaotic confrontation. Ultimately, though, police were able to retake control of the situation, causing the 2 masked men to flee when they realized things had gone sideways. At the same time, the UK inmate was recaptured after apparently running in the opposite direction of his would-be rescuers during the confusion. Roughly 13 hours later, at 12:30 the next morning, authorities found the luxury SUV that the masked suspects used as their getaway vehicle. The SUV had reportedly been torched and left a short drive away from the scene of the attack. Police say the vehicle was stolen and equipped with fake license plates, though they are still hoping to recover evidence from it that could help lead them to the suspects. As for the UK inmate that the masked men were trying to break free, authorities have not released his identity at this time, though they have stated he is a wanted fugitive in the UK with alleged ties to drug trafficking. He was reportedly arrested in the city of San Jose, located on the southwest side of the island, about 2 months ago, and has been in custody ever since. British officials say that they are currently working to have him extradited back to the UK, though in the meantime, he is expected to be transferred to a more secure facility on the Spanish mainland. At the time of this recording, the hunt for the 2 masked men continues. Authorities in the Japanese city of Yokohama say that they are investigating an all-too-common crime with a bizarre twist this week after a man fell asleep while drunk during a night out, only to inadvertently record himself being the victim of a robbery. According to reports, the incident took place on the night of October 1st, when the unidentified male victim was out for a night of fun in Noge, one of Yokohama's popular nightlife districts. After having a few too many drinks, he decided it would be a good idea to start live streaming on his phone, shortly after which he took to the streets and went for a bit of a stroll. Unfortunately for the man, after only a few minutes, it appears that the alcohol he had consumed started to catch up with him. He stopped for what he evidently thought was a short rest sitting up against an apartment building, and promptly passed out. The camera on his phone, though, kept rolling. Understandably, the live stream didn't make for very exciting viewing. That was, until a man's hand could be seen reaching into the frame a short time later. The hand proceeded to go into a bag on the victim's stomach, pulling out his wallet before disappearing. Apparently unsatisfied with what he had taken, the thief returned about half an hour later, this time taking the victim's phone. It was at this point that things started to get pretty interesting, especially as the thief had no idea that all of this was being live-streamed. The stolen phone continued going as the culprit got into his car and began driving, during which time he proceeded to make a call to an accomplice on his own device. During the conversation, the thief could be heard bragging, quote, "I just got a set with a mobile phone from a tuna." Tuna likely being their term for a passed-out drunk person. He went on to say, quote, "It looks like there's a debit card or something, so I'll bring it over like usual since I heard we can find out the PIN through the phone. I got about 20,000 yen the last time." It's not exactly clear when the thief finally clued into the fact that he was being live-streamed. However, we do know it was after he met up with his accomplice at some sort of apartment or hotel room. The pair could be heard discussing how they used the victim's debit card at a convenience store and had made a purchase equivalent to about $130 US. At the time of this recording, it's not clear if police have yet tracked down the 2 people seen in the live stream video, though presumably this evidence will go a long way towards helping them to solve the case. Authorities in the Chinese province of Henan say that a woman was recently sentenced to a multi-day detention order after she apparently drunk-dialed police several times to make false reports because she was worried that her husband was cheating on her. The whole thing started a few months back when the suspect, identified only by the last name Yan, took a job all the way on the other side of the country. Since the position wasn't exactly within commuting distance, it was about 1,900 miles from where she lived in Zhenping County, this understandably meant that she would need to spend extended periods of time away from home. Unfortunately, there was a problem. Yan was extremely jealous. Convinced that her husband was cheating on her with multiple women, Yan decided she needed to keep tabs on him while she was away. Again, though, there was a problem. The plan she came up with was as unbelievable as it was stupid. According to reports, on at least 5 occasions, Yan called police in Zhenping County saying that she needed to file a police report. She then proceeded to give them her address and claim that her husband was engaging in illegal sexual activities there. Each time, police went to the house to follow up on these reports, only to find Yan's husband doing nothing wrong and minding his own business. Authorities waited until Yan returned home for her next visit on September 26th, at which point they questioned her about the calls she had been making. It was then that she apparently admitted she had purposely made false reports as a way of checking up on her husband. As an added bonus, Yan also reportedly stated she had been drunk every time she made the reports. Understandably, police were not too thrilled about this, and after pleading guilty to disrupting social order by disseminating false information, Yan was sentenced to 5 days of administrative detention. Police also released a statement reminding the public not to abuse the emergency system. Authorities in the Argentine capital of Buenos Aires say that they have arrested a woman on suspicion of murder this week after she allegedly killed her husband during a heated argument, then tried to stage the scene to make it look like he had taken his own life. According to reports, the incident began sometime on the night of October 9th, when police were alerted about a possible domestic incident at a home in the Buenos Aires suburb of La Tablada. Neighbors stated that they had overheard what sounded like a violent argument between husband and wife, 26-year-old Javier Bertado and 35-year-old Deborah Romero. When officers arrived at the scene, they were greeted by Romero, who said that her husband was dead. She claimed that he had taken his own life in their bedroom with a handgun. Though authorities quickly found Javier's body where Romero had said, several things started to make them question her version of events. For starters, the home looked like it had been the scene of a violent altercation. Chairs were scattered across the living room, there was broken glass all over the floor, and a speaker had been broken into pieces. When detectives started asking about surveillance footage, Romero also got cagey. Though they clearly had security cameras, like most of their neighbors, it turned out that the DVR box that stored the footage was missing. A search revealed that the box had been thrown into a trash bin outside on the corner. This trash bin was also where police apparently recovered Javier's phone, which had been broken. When asked where her phone was, Romero claimed that it had been stolen earlier that day and that she hadn't reported it. To authorities, though, it looked like she was trying to cover up a crime. The final nail in the coffin for Romero allegedly came when investigators took a closer look at the bedroom where Javier's body was found. That's where they discovered that 2 gunshots had been fired, not 1. Romero was then placed under arrest on suspicion of murder. At the time of this recording, Romero remains in custody, though has yet to be formally charged. Police say that they are continuing their investigation and are currently trying to compile more evidence. Authorities in the Thai capital of Bangkok say that 2 people are dead and at least 5 others are injured following a terrifying shooting attack last week at one of the country's most well-known shopping centers. According to reports, the deadly incident unfolded on the afternoon of October 3rd at the luxury Siam Paragon Mall in Bangkok's Pathum Wan district. The attack began at around 4:20 p.m. when the shooter, identified only as a 14-year-old boy, opened fire with a handgun on the mall's M floor, right near a restroom area. Witnesses say that moments before, the suspect had gone into the men's bathroom and had changed his clothes, leaving behind a bag filled with a large amount of ammunition. Shoppers and workers at the scene desperately fled to safety or else tried to hide as the shooter continued to fire, with the suspect appearing to choose his targets at random. Sadly, 2 people were killed, while 5 others were injured. The victims have not been identified by name, though the deceased are said to both be women, one of whom was from China, the other of whom was from Myanmar. The terrifying situation continued for just under an hour until the teenage gunman finally agreed to surrender to police. He is now facing at least half a dozen charges, including premeditated murder. While police have not commented on the alleged motive behind the shooting, it has since been reported that the 14-year-old suspect had a documented history of mental health issues and that he may have stopped taking his medication prior to the attack. It's now alleged that he was suffering a psychotic episode at the time of the shooting, with authorities going as far as to confirm that the teen appeared unable to speak in coherent sentences when he was taken into custody. According to the private school he attended, he showed no signs of aggression in the lead-up to the shooting. Following the incident, the boy's parents released an open letter asking for forgiveness for their son's actions. That letter reads in part, quote, "We are deeply saddened and shocked by this incident and accept responsibility as fully as we can." That being said, it appears that much of the anger over the situation has been directed towards police, emergency services, and mall security, who many claim were unprepared and slow to respond to the tragedy. According to some survivors, no announcement was made over the mall's PA system for at least 10 minutes after the shooting had started, adding to the confusion and chaos. Hundreds of people reportedly weren't evacuated until nearly an hour into the incident, and possible life-saving treatment was allegedly delayed due to the fact that ambulances got stuck in traffic and were unable to get to the scene. Another aspect of the case that has caused significant public outrage was how the teen suspect was reportedly able to get the weapon used in the crime. The handgun, which was designed to fire blanks but which had been modified to fire live rounds, was allegedly sold to the 14-year-old by a father and son who were running an illegal firearms business. They have now been arrested and are also facing charges. At the time of this recording, authorities say that the 14-year-old suspect remains in custody, though is currently under the care of the country's Juvenile Observation and Protection Department. He is reportedly undergoing mental health evaluations before officials decide where he will be sent to await his next court date. Before we wrap up, we'd like to take a second to give a huge shout out to everyone who has made it this far into the video. Seriously, thank you so much for watching. If you found today's upload interesting and informative, we'd be honored if you'd consider liking and subscribing, as well as hitting the notification bell and selecting
The 1980s was a time when companies and products were not afraid to be different. However, the decade wasn't without its failures. Either the products didn't work or the consumers did not share the inventor's vision. A few of these items were just ahead of their time. In this video, we will have a look back at some of the 1980s products that failed. Gull-wing doors are ridiculously cool looking, and most people thought that every car in the future would have these. Part of this may be because of the DeLorean and the movie Back to the Future. However, people today are still opening their doors outwards rather than upwards. These were fun to dream about, but in reality, there is the possibility of being trapped inside the car in the event of a rollover. Long before AirPods were ever invented, motorcyclists had another option to have tunes while riding. Just strap on this speaker vest and you could not only look cool, but you could also enjoy your favorite music. It was actually a jacket that had zip-off sleeves so you could look like a real biker. If you plugged in your portable stereo to this sound vest, you were ready for the road. In the 80s, the Transformers became so popular that someone decided to give it a go with an actual vehicle. However, this one would not transform into a robot. It was the vision of Ital Designs, and their goal was to create a vehicle that would appeal to everyone. This car could convert from a van to transport bulky objects one day to a cool sports car the next. This idea never really took off on a large scale, but perhaps someday somebody might give it another go. The electric doormat was a German invention from the early 80s. It was basically a fancy and expensive alternative to wiping your feet on a conventional doormat. It had anti-tripping technology where belts looped over separate pulleys and were mounted on counter-rotating drums on each side of the mat. In the years since, people have decided that the low-tech version was good enough. The vibrating sauna was a crazy-looking invention from Vibrason International. They combined a home entertainment system with an air conditioner and a massaging chair, which was all housed in a personal sauna pod.
Come on.
It was designed to keep the head cool while the rest of the body sat in 170 degrees Fahrenheit dry heat. This sauna sold for $5,995, which included a face fan, built-in stereo system, and an adjustable vibrator. If you're looking for something to take up space in your house because you have too much available, then this personal vibrating sauna might be for you. The Ulta card was also known as the Everything card, and it was from the company Smart Card International. It featured a 2-line LCD screen with a 10-key alphanumeric keypad. This was supposed to one-up credit cards, which